Prosperous black communities that were destroyed.
In 1912, Oscarville was home to 1,100 black people, most of whom were freed after fighting in the Civil War. By working in the cotton fields and providing services for the white residents of surrounding neighborhoods, they were able to build a healthy community together. But on September 5th, a 22-year-old white woman named Ellen Grice claimed 2 black men tried to rape her, and her mother scared them away. The Forsyth County Sheriff arrested 5 black men for the alleged assault. As news spread, so did outrage among the nearby white neighborhoods, pointing to a lack of evidence and even suggesting that one of the men might have been in a consensual relationship with Ellen. A black preacher named Grant Smith pleaded for the sheriff to let the men go. This did not sit well with white people. They were outraged at Smith's allegations, and they beat and whipped him to near death on the footsteps of the courthouse. A week later, on September 12th of 1912, an 18-year-old white woman named May Crow of the nearby community of Big Creek was beaten and raped. May was found nearly dead, hidden under a pile of leaves, her body half naked and bloodied from having her skull bashed with a stone. A small pocket mirror was allegedly found near the scene of a crime belonging to a 16-year-old black boy named Ernest Knox. Knox was arrested and tortured, leading to his coerced confession. And as word spread of the attack on May, white people became even more furious. A lynch mob formed in front of the jailhouse where Knox was being held. In the middle of the night, officers snuck Knox out the back door and took him to another jailhouse in Atlanta to prevent him from being hanged. The next day, 4 more black men were arrested as alleged accomplices: Oscar Daniel, Jane Daniel, Rob Edwards, and Ed Collin. Not long after, a mob of over 2,000 angry white people stormed the jailhouse and gained access to Rob Edwards' cell. They shot him and hung his body from a telephone pole in Town Square. Ernest Knox and Oscar Daniel were found guilty and were sentenced to death by hanging, even though hangings were illegal. 8,000 white people attended the public hanging. After the attack on May and alleged attack on Ellen, a white terrorist group known as the Night Riders made it their mission to run every black person out of the county. Oscarville was their primary target. The Night Riders were a militant faction of tobacco farmers that became famous during the Black Patch Wars of 1904 to 1909. The American Tobacco Company started offering farmers less and less for their crops. So the Night Riders would ride on horseback in the middle of the night and attack farmers that would not boycott the ATC, and they burned warehouses to the ground. These Night Riders stormed Oscarville, firing guns into homes and burning houses to the ground, as well as all the black churches in the town. Not all white people supported the Night Riders, though. Nice, Marion. A group of prominent white people, including the mayor of Cumming, Georgia, sent a letter to Governor Brown begging him to declare martial law and protect the black families of Oscarville. Governor Brown refused. The Night Riders continued their assault on Oscarville for years, until 98% of its black residents were either murdered or left town. Oscarville was a ghost town. 1,100 black people lost their livelihood. White people stole their land and claimed it as their own, eventually selling it to the government. In 1956, with the completion of the Beaufort Dam, the massive reservoir of Lake Lanier was constructed where Oscarville once stood. This is America's history.